What if I told you that right now, as we speak, thousands of Americans are waking up to find $4,000 or more sitting in their bank accounts and they had absolutely no idea it was coming? Let that sink in. You check your phone, you open your banking app, and there it is, a deposit from the US Treasury. Not a scam, not a mistake. Real money. Your money. Money that the government owed you that got caught in the system and is now finally breaking free. But here's the part that should make you sit up straight. This is happening sooner than you think. And if you're not paying attention, if you're not checking your accounts, if you're not verifying your information with the IRS right now, you could be next in line for a delay, a freeze, or worse, missing out entirely. I read the official Treasury documents, so you don't have to. I've spent the last 72 hours poring over IRS fact sheets, Treasury press releases, and the latest filing season data. And what I found is going to affect millions of households across this country, especially if you live in California, Texas, Florida, New York, or Illinois. So if you filed your taxes this year, if you're waiting on a refund, if you're a senior on Social Security, a veteran, a low-income family, or someone who's been struggling to make ends meet, do not click away from this video. This is the most important 8 minutes you'll spend today. I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening, who's getting paid, why the rules changed, and the 6 critical steps you must take right now to make sure your money lands in your account, not in some government backlog. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hostname, and for the past several years, I've dedicated this channel to one mission and one mission only: helping everyday Americans navigate the maze of government benefits, tax policy, and federal programs that were supposed to help you, but too often end up confusing you. Social Security, SNAP, SSI, SSDI, Medicare, stimulus updates, tax refunds. If the government is involved and it affects your wallet, we cover it here. Plain English, no jargon, no fluff, just the facts you need to protect yourself and your family. Now, before we dive into the deep end, I need you to do something for me. Drop your city and state in the comments below. Why? Because what's happening in May 2026 is not uniform across the country. California residents are seeing different processing times than folks in Texas. Florida filers are dealing with unique direct deposit challenges. New York and Illinois have specific state-level wrinkles that could affect your refund. When you tell me where you're watching from, I can tailor future updates to your situation. Plus, we've built an incredible community here. People helping people, sharing information, and making sure nobody gets left behind. And if you're one of the thousands who've been stressed out, losing sleep, checking your bank account 10 times a day waiting for your refund, I see you, I hear you, and you are not alone. We're going to get through this together. All right, let's break down exactly what's happening in May 2026. Here's what you need to understand. The Treasury Department and the IRS have just pushed through a major operational update that is directly impacting how tax refunds are being distributed this month. And when I say major, I mean game-changing. This isn't just about processing speed. This is about how. The money moves, who gets it first, and what happens. If your information isn't perfect, let me hit you with the numbers first, because the data tells the story. According to the latest IRS filing season statistics through late March 2026, the average federal tax refund has reached $3,571. That's up $350 from last year, a 10.9% increase. But here's where it gets interesting. For millions of taxpayers, especially those benefiting from the new provisions in the 2025 tax legislation, refunds are routinely climbing past the $4,000 mark. In some cases, we're seeing refunds of $5,000, $6,000, even higher for families with children, seniors, and those who worked overtime. Why the jump? Several factors are driving this. First, the larger standard deduction introduced in the recent tax bill is putting anywhere from the $75 to $555 bow back in taxpayers' pockets depending on filing status and bracket. Second, the expanded child tax credit is cutting taxes by up to $200 per child. for roughly 46 million tax units. Third moon, and this is huge for our senior viewers, the new senior deduction is delivering average tax cuts of around $1,000. For the 24 million taxpayers age 65 and older who qualify. Fourth, the overtime deduction is putting an average of the 1,400 back into the pockets of 17 million workers who logged extra hours. Add all of that up, and you can see why so many refunds are cresting that $4,000 threshold. But here's the critical piece that most people don't know. The Treasury has fundamentally changed how refunds are delivered in 2026. And if you missed the memo, your refund could be frozen. In January 2026, the IRS implemented a sweeping modernization policy mandated by Executive Order 15247, officially titled Modernizing Payments to and from America's Bank Account. What does that mean in plain English? Paper checks are being phased out. The Treasury is going all in on electronic payments. Now, for most of you, that's good news. Direct deposit is faster. It's safer. The IRS says more than 9 out of 10 refunds issued via direct deposit arrive in less than 21 days. But there's a catch, a big one, and it's catching thousands of taxpayers off guard. Here are the new rules, straight from the IRS fact sheet FS 2026-02 and the Taxpayer Advocate Service. Rule number 1. If you file your return without providing direct deposit information, the IRS will still process your return, but your refund, frozen. Not sent, locked down until you log into your IRS online account and provide banking details or explicitly request a paper check waiver. Rule number 2. If your direct deposit is rejected by your bank, maybe you typed the account number wrong, maybe the account is closed, maybe there's a name mismatch, the IRS will not freeze that deposit. They will not automatically reissue it as a paper check anymore. You will receive a CP53E notice checks in the mail, and you'll have 30 days to update your bank information through your online account. If you don't act, 6 weeks later, they'll finally send a paper check. But here's the kicker. You only get one shot. If your updated direct deposit gets rejected a second time, no more chances. You're getting a paper check and you're waiting. Rule number 3. The IRS has eliminated the paper check option from the Form 8888, the allocation of refund form. So if you were planning to split your refund and have part of it sent as a paper check to a family member or a savings account you don't have electronic access to, that option is gone. Here's what you need to understand. The government is forcing digital adoption. And for younger taxpayers, tech-savvy filers, people with stable bank accounts, this is fine. This is actually better. But for seniors without smartphones, rural Americans without reliable internet, low-income families who move frequently and can't maintain a steady bank account, and veterans dealing with bureaucratic chaos, this is a potential disaster. The National Taxpayer Advocate has already warned that vulnerable taxpayers must not be left behind in this transition. But the system is moving fast, and if you don't keep up, your $4,000 refund could be stuck in limbo while your bills keep coming. Now let's talk about where you live, because geography matters more than you think. California. The Golden State consistently ranks among the highest in average federal refunds, often exceeding $3,800 per return. With the new deductions and credits, California filers are seeing some of the largest refunds in the nation. However, California also has one of the highest rates of paper check requests and has some bank account turnover due to housing instability. If you're in Los Angeles, San Francisco, or anywhere in between, and you moved recently, verify your direct deposit information immediately. Texas. No state income tax means Texans rely heavily on federal refunds. The average refund here is tracking above the national mean, and with the energy sector overtime provisions, many oil and gas workers are seeing refunds well over $4,000. But Texas also has a large population of unbanked and underbanked households. If you don't have a traditional bank account, you need to explore the IRS's electronic payment options or request a hardship waiver now. Florida. Similar to Texas, Florida depends on federal refunds. The senior population here is enormous, and with the new senior deduction, many retirees are getting unexpectedly large refunds. But Florida also has a high rate of seasonal residents and snowbirds. If your bank is in another state, make sure the IRS has your current active account information. A dormant account from your summer home up north will get rejected. New York. High cost of living, high state taxes, but also high refunds for those who qualify for the expanded credits. New York filers are among the earliest to file, and many have already received their refunds. But if you filed late, if you claimed the SALT deduction increase, or if you're waiting on an amended return, the new direct deposit rules could delay you into June or July. Illinois. Middle America is feeling the squeeze, and Illinois taxpayers are no exception. The average refund here is solid, but Illinois has been flagged by the IRS for higher than average error rates on returns claiming the child tax credit. If you're in Chicago, Springfield, or anywhere in between and you claimed the CTC, double check that your return was accepted without errors. An error flag plus a direct deposit rejection equals a long, hot summer of waiting. Let me be crystal clear about who needs to be paying attention right now. This isn't just for people who filed in April. This affects a wide range of Americans. And if you fall into any of these categories, you are in the impact zone. SSI recipients. If you receive supplemental security income and you filed a tax return to claim credits like the Earned Income Tax Credit or the Child Tax Credit, your refund is likely being processed now. But many SSI recipients don't have traditional bank accounts. If you used a prepaid card or a family member's account, verify that the IRS has valid, current direct deposit information. If that account is closed or the name doesn't match exactly, your refund is frozen. SSDI beneficiaries. Social Security Disability Insurance recipients who worked part of the year or have dependents are seeing substantial refunds this season. The new overtime deduction doesn't apply to most SSDI recipients, but the senior deduction and standard deduction increases do. If you're on SSDI and waiting on a refund, check your IRS online account today. Do not wait for a paper notice. Veterans. VA benefits are tax-free, but if you worked a civilian job, if you have a part-time business, or if you're claiming credits for dependent children, you filed a return. Veterans are disproportionately affected by banking instability and address changes. The VA and the IRS do not share direct deposit information automatically. You must ensure your IRS banking details are current and separate from your VA profile. Seniors 65 and older. This is your year. The new senior deduction is a game changer. If you're 65 or older and you filed a return, your refund is likely significantly larger than in previous years. But seniors are also the most likely to be unbanked or to rely on paper checks. The IRS has promised waivers for those without banking access, but you must request them. They are not automatic. Low-income families. The expanded child tax credit and earned income tax credit are driving refunds well above $4,000 for working families with children. These are the households that need this money the most, for rent, for groceries, for catching up on bills. If you're in this group and you used a tax preparer who offered a refund advance or a prepaid card, make sure you understand where your actual refund is going. The advance was a loan. The real refund may be going to a different account. DHS employees and families. Here's a special alert. If you or someone in your household works for the Department of Homeland Security, the Treasury, and IRS just announced a 30-day automatic filing extension. Due to the ongoing DHS shutdown, your new deadline is May 15th, 2026, with penalty and interest relief. If you haven't filed yet because of the shutdown, you still have time. But if you already filed and you're waiting on a refund, your processing may be delayed due to the broader administrative disruptions. Now, I know some of you are wondering, why is this happening? Why the sudden push to eliminate paper checks? Why the freezes? Why the urgency? Here's the official explanation, and then I'll give you the real-world translation. The Treasury Department says this modernization is about efficiency, security, and reducing fraud. Paper checks cost more to print, mail, and process. They get lost, they get stolen, they get cashed fraudulently. Electronic payments are faster, cheaper, and leave a digital trail. The executive order mandating this change was issued in 2025 with a hard deadline of September 30th, 2025, for the complete phase-out of paper checks for federal disbursements. The IRS also points to error rates. When taxpayers provide incorrect bank information, when names don't match, when accounts are closed, the system bogs down. By freezing refunds immediately and forcing taxpayers to correct the information through their online accounts, the IRS believes it can reduce the backlog of misdirected payments. But there's also a political and fiscal backdrop that you need to understand. The 2026 filing season is the first full year under the new tax legislation passed in 2025. The federal deficit is projected to top 2 trillion sakbas in fiscal year 2026, with nearly 500 billion columns of that, attributed to the effects of the new tax bill. Larger refunds mean less revenue for the government. The Treasury is under enormous pressure to process refunds accurately and quickly because every day a refund sits in limbo is a day the government isn't collecting interest or resolving its books. There was also the highly publicized and now largely defunct proposal for human 2000 tariff dividend checks. President Trump floated the idea of using tariff revenue to send direct payments to Americans. But in February 2026, the Supreme Court struck down most of the administration's tariffs as illegal. That revenue never materialized, and the dividend checks never happened. Some of you may have been waiting for those. I need you to hear this clearly. There are no $2,000 tariff dividend checks coming. Any refund you receive now is from your tax return, your credits, your overpayment. Do not wait for a separate stimulus. It is not coming. What we are seeing instead is the government trying to streamline the existing system, reduce overhead, and push through the massive volume of refunds that this year's tax changes have generated. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a hidden agenda. It's bureaucracy adapting to a new reality. But that adaptation is messy, and it's hitting real people in real ways. Okay, enough context. Let's talk about what you're going to do today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Because every day you wait is a day your money sits in government limbo. Step 1. Verify your IRS online account. If you do not have an IRS online account, go to ears.gov and create one right now. I'm not kidding. Pause this video if you have to. Your online account is the only place you can update direct deposit information, check for notices like the CP53E, view your transcripts, and see exactly where your refund stands. Without this account, you are flying blind. Step 2. Double-check your direct deposit information. Log into that account and verify every single digit of your bank routing number and account number. Make sure the name on the account matches the name on your tax return exactly. If you file jointly, make sure it's a joint account or an account in one of the filer's names. The IRS will not deposit into a third-party account. If your account has been closed, if you switched banks, if you moved and changed accounts, update this information immediately. Step 3. Check your refund status using Where's My Refund? Go to irs.gov and use the WAPT, Where's My Refund? Tool. You'll need your social security number or ITIN, your filing status, and your exact refund amount. This tool updates every 24 hours. It will tell you if your return was received, if it was approved, and if your refund was sent. If it says refund sent but you don't see it in your account after 5 business days, something went wrong. Start troubleshooting. Step 4. Respond to any CP53E notices within 30 days. If you get a CP53E notice in the mail, do not ignore it. This notice means your direct deposit was rejected and your refund is frozen. You have 30 days to log into your IRS online account and provide corrected banking information. If you don't have a bank account and meet the waiver criteria, you can request a paper check waiver through your online account or by calling the IRS at 800-829-1040. But be warned, the CP53E information line at in 866-325-4066 is recorded only. It will not connect you to a human. You need your online account or you need to call the main number during business hours. Step 5. File your return electronically if you haven't already. If you haven't filed yet, e-file. Do not mail a paper return. E-filed returns are processed faster, have fewer errors, and get your refund into the direct deposit pipeline quicker. The IRS opened for the 2026 season on January 26th, and the deadline for most taxpayers was April 15th, 2026. If you missed the deadline, file as soon as possible to minimize penalties. If you're a DHS employee affected by the shutdown, remember you have until May 15th, 2026. Step 6. Set up banking alerts and monitor your accounts daily. If you're expecting a refund, turn on text or email alerts for your bank account. The Treasury is pushing through batches of refunds every week. You do not want to miss a deposit because you weren't watching. If a deposit hits and you weren't expecting it, verify it through the IRS tools before spending it. If a deposit is rejected, you want to know within 24 hours so you can act within that 30-day window. I know this is a lot. I know that for many of you, this isn't just about numbers on a screen. This is about rent that's due. This is about medicine you need. This is about groceries for your kids' meal or keeping the lights on. This is about dignity. This is about survival. And I want you to know something. Your frustration is valid. The system is not designed to be easy. It is not designed to be kind. It is a massive, sprawling bureaucracy that moves slowly and punishes small mistakes. But that does not mean you are powerless. That does not mean you are alone. Every day, I read comments from people in this community who say, I didn't know I qualified for that. Your video helped me get my benefits. I finally got my refund because of your step-by-step guide. That is why I do this. That is why we are here together. If you are overwhelmed, if you are confused, if you are sitting there thinking, I don't know how to create an online account, I don't have a computer, I don't understand the notice I got in the mail, reach out. Leave a comment. Tell us what city and state you're in. Our community will help you. We have tax professionals watching. We have retired IRS agents in the comments. We have people who've been through exactly what you're going through right now. You are not a number to the government, and you are not a number to us. You matter. Your money matters. And we are going to make sure you get what you're owed. Let's bring it home. Here is your key takeaway for May 2026. 4,000 tax refunds are hitting bank accounts right now, but only if your direct deposit information is accurate, your return was error-free, and you are actively monitoring your IRS online account. The Treasury has modernized the system. Paper checks are dying. Electronic is the new normal. If you adapt, you get paid fast. If you don't, you get frozen out. We covered the new direct deposit rules. We covered the CP53E notices. We covered who's affected, SSI, SSDI, veterans, seniors, low-income families, DHS employees. We covered the political context, and we gave you 6 concrete steps to take today. Now it's your turn to act. If this video helped you, if it clarified something, if it gave you a roadmap, smash that like button. Not for me, for the algorithm, so that YouTube shows this to the next person who's panicking at 2 a.m., checking their empty bank account, wondering where their refund is. Subscribe to this channel with the notification bell on. We are tracking IRS updates, Treasury announcements, Social Security changes, and stimulus developments every single week. The next video is already in production, and it's going to cover the June 2026 Social Security COLA preview and what it means for your monthly check. You do not want to miss it. And one more time, drop your city and state in the comments. Let's see where this community is strongest. Let's build a map of who we're helping. Let's make sure no American gets left behind in this system. I'm host Name. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and go check your refund status right now.